You lost weight.
Huh?
You lost weight.
I hope not. I only weigh 150 soaking wet.
Niggas,
Yeah, it's the roll. It's fine.
you look.
Yes. Yes. With that one part, I think.
He actually got bigger.
Yeah, he got bigger. He used to be skinnier.
You got bigger?
What you say?
They think they look like tongue or something like that.
Oh,
Did you want some bread?
you just want to see everybody, right?
I just wanted to see
Oh,
since I'm not here. I'll tell everybody I said hello.
my wife says hello. I'm sorry she
Hello,
couldn't
Miss
be.
Green.
Alright.
Thank you.
Yep.
She's on Skype chat.
Yeah, on the WhatsApp. The WhatsApp, yeah. Oh, I didn't realize it was back over there. Okay, cool.
We should have a protest on it. Get used to that.
They having a wedding, man. Ain't nothing I can really do about it. Yeah.
Because when we first pulled up, I said, wow, it's a house full over there today.
Yeah.
We got something else going on over there.
We tough. So that bad. That's the best I can do. All right, everybody here? You try to close the door. Say to close the door, hell. That banjo was loud. Just,
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
yeah, ain't hear nothing, right? All right. All right. So today we're talking about the government and the religion of the adversary. So everybody talks about religion and different religions and religious factors, you know, Christianity, Islam, Buddhist, and things like that. As you can see, it's most of those little symbols. What's that? I know you know what that is. I know what you got.
No.
That ain't what you got?
No, absolutely not.
That's Buddha, right? Yeah.
No.
That's the Indian. So you got that star, quote unquote, Star of David. That's the Jewish people, and you got a couple other, I guess, signals of religion.
The top one is the Indian one.
Maybe, I don't know. It's not really that though. So that's the thing though. That's what the whole topic is about. It's not really about Indians. It's not really about. It's not about all these different religions because really it's only two, I guess, things to worship, right? So in reality, you only worshiping God, the true God, which is the Most High, higher, or you are worshiping the devil. The difference between them is that the God only has one form, comes in one form, one state, right? Satan comes in many forms. So all those right there, you pick and choose what you believe, but God can't be all of them, right? Because there's no way this will be the same God with different rules. You know, he want the Muslims across seas to wear beards and robes, but the ones over here don't have no beards, which is crazy for a man that had no beard. And then they don't wear robes, they wear suits, right? Total opposite, right? So gonna play this little game. You guys see all these dudes? Anybody know who these guys are? Presidents. Benjamin Franklin ain't no president though. Y'all know what they all have in common.
They're all related.
They're all, what you call that? Masons.
They're all Masons.
Oh, Freemasons.
Okay.
They all related too.
They all related too, huh?
They all also thieves.
Every
You said
president.
they thieves?
Thieves. They're not religion, they're thieves.
Oh, okay. All right. So, but he's up here on the screen, right? But this is what I want to talk about, and then I'm going to talk about the government first, right? So this is AHAYAH'S government. AHAYAH is God's name. It's not Jehovah. It's not Yahweh. It's not what they be saying, y'all sure. I don't know.
Yeah, how was shy?
Yeah, Yahweh. There you go. Yahweh Shai. It's not of those names, right? But God does have a government, right, that He wants us to follow. So when I was, first getting into the truth, even before then, people used to argue me about the government because there is scriptures I'm gonna go over that talks about we supposed to follow the government. But just the thing, if the government is going against what God say, you sure that's God's government, right? So it's a difference. We do supposed to follow certain laws of the land. Like I'm not telling y'all to don't run no stop signs. I ain't telling y'all to run no red lights. I mean, I just think that's dangerous, regardless if it was illegal or not. But if let's say something like abortion or something like that, right? God is against that, so we don't support that. I don't care who the president is. I don't care who your governor is. You don't support that, right? But what happens is we get caught up in that, right? Because you don't know who these people are that you're around. And like I said, this is the difference. Everybody who's supposed to be God, you're supposed to show it through your fruit. Nobody care what you say, right? And the reason why that is a big thing, because Pharisees and scribes, those about don't be the Pharisees and scribes. The Pharisees and scribes actually taught the Bible. They actually taught the laws. They actually did they taught what they're supposed to teach. Like how I'm teaching y'all, they did that. The difference is they wasn't doing it. All right. So they actually was teaching what they supposed to teach, right? So I'm going to show y'all that we're supposed to have a government. These are prophecies about Christ. So the first one is Isaiah 9 and 6. Yeah, you go ahead.
For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
All right. So this talking about Christ is a prophecy in Isaiah and saying that a child's going to have a government on his shoulders, right? So you think like as a president, like Obama and them, well, this is going to be our president. He is our president. He always going to be our president. This is our representative, right? Anytime you want to go to God, you go to the representative, right? Because he got to own it too. Just like the president got to answer to somebody, well, this is our president. He got to answer to God, right? And this is a confirmation about him once he gets here in the New Testament. So this is Matthew chapter 2, verse 6.
And thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, art not least among the princes of Judah. For out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel.
All right, so Christ is from the tribe of Judah, and they're just saying a governor will come out of theirs, right? So it's gonna be a governor ruling the government. So like I said, there's nothing wrong with government. There's nothing wrong with government, right? They had a governor back then. So this is Matthew 27 and 2. Just talking about Pontius Pilate being the governor when Christ was around in Rome.
And when they had bound him, they led him away and delivered him to Pontius Pilate, the governor.
All right, so government is it's okay, right? It's not a problem. The problem is what happens is when the government is not it's not through God, right? It's not through the ordinance of God. Like I said, certain things we're not supposed to do, certain things we don't agree on, right? You may have friends who I guess are in the LGBT community, right? That's fine, right? But you don't go to their weddings, you don't support that lifestyle. Doesn't mean you hate that person, right? But you don't realize once you accept that, you got to accept everything that comes with it. I tell you this all the time. Somebody asked me told me that a bisexual person, I told them they're gay. They said, oh, they're bisexual. I said, you can't do both. You pick one or the other. And they keep thinking it's a gray area. There is no such thing as a gray area. I promise y'all there isn't, right? Because a gray area means you accept some good and you accept some bad. But when you with God, you can't accept bad, right? I'm not saying you're not going to do bad. I'm not going to say you know mistakes. But when you accept good and bad, that's a problem, right? Because now you can't tell the difference. So now you can't tell the difference. You're going to be mixed up in so many different things, right? So this is the order how God wants it to be, right? Just showing you a structure. So this is Romans 13, verses 1 through 7.
Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no higher power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of God, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. For he is the minister of God to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid. For he beareth not the sword in vain. For he is the minister of God, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. Wherefore ye must needs be subject, not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake. For For this cause pay ye tribute also, for they are God's ministers attending continually upon this very thing. Render therefore to all their dues tribute to whom tribute is due, custom to whom custom, fear to whom fear, honor to whom honor.
All right, so this is what they would do. They'll use this and they use this to control you, right? It says that you can't resist the power with a higher power is ordained by God, right? God ain't ordaining people to be in position to be bad people, right? Because like I said, that's the problem. For instance, on verse 3, it says, for rulers are not terror to good works, but to the evil. So somebody is, I guess, let's say they're doing bad to somebody who's doing good. How can they be of God? Right? But the problem is in the world we see, we don't see it that way. Something that's really small, that's really bad. Taxes, right? You're not supposed to tax the people like that, right? But they'll go to the Bible and they'll go to Leviticus, which is crazy because they say don't go to the Old Testament, but they'll use it for taxes, right? Not realizing it's only for that because the Levites didn't have a place, right? All the other lands had a place, but the taxes is for them, right? It's almost like a yearly tax. But think about this: you get taxed on your wages, right? Then you go spend money, you get taxed on that. Then you get taxed on the money that you already spent. This is crazy, right? And then they say that it's for the better of the country or whatever. I was talking to my good friend Mr. Mike, and we were talking about like Social Security, right? I think that's one of the biggest scams in the world. For instance, I knew somebody who never had a job in his life, right? But I'm working, he benefiting from that. He never put it into the pot. That's crazy.
We got these illegal aliens come on.
Yeah, and so now, but like I said, but see what happens is that opened the door, so they don't realize everybody that's on the welfare and want this stuff. You open the door for the illegal immigrants because you in this gray area. There's no right or wrong. It's just like, well, it's okay here, it's okay there, but it's always okay when you're benefiting. But the moment you can't benefit no more, oh boy, here go the problems. That's the gray area. Gray areas do not exist, and this is the reason why the world has so many confusion. All right. So the next, I gotta make sure it's turning. It wasn't turning last time. We had that turning problem. All right, so this is 1 Peter chapter 2, verses 13 through 17.
Submit yourselves to every ordinance of man for the Lord's sake, whether it be to the king or supreme, or unto governors, or unto them that are sent by him for the punishment of evildoers, and for the praise of them that do well. For so is the will of God, that with well-doing ye may put to silence the ignorance of foolish men, as free, and not using your liberty for a cloak of maliciousness, but as the servants of God. Honor all men, love the brotherhood, fear God, honor the king.
All right, so it says, don't use your liberty. We was talking about liberty. We was talking about liberty in church Saturday, right? About this liberty thing, right? Because I said the liberty is dangerous. This is where that gray area kicks in, because you could have somebody stumble and they see something and they'll go about it that way. Same thing with the government. They have all these liberty areas, right? For instance, everybody go gamble, right? Everybody go drink alcohol, they smoke cigarettes. Not y'all, but just in general, right? All these things was illegal a few years ago. They wasn't even, you go to jail or you was selling beer. That was illegal, but now it's the biggest thing, right? So look how they flip it on. They just flip things on everybody, right? And the Bible never condemns you to not be able to drink, right? It just says drink in moderation, don't get drunk, stuff like that. But now they got it to a point where somebody gonna be cold turkey or they not realizing. Like for instance, they'll say a Bud Light commercial with NFL. What beer got to do with football? That's it. I play football all the time. I got to do it. That's gonna make it worse if you drinking beer. You're not gonna be able to throw the ball, stuff like that. And see, this is how they get you. You see in verse 13, it says the king and then the supreme and to the governors. So it's telling everybody already to be in subjection, right? But if you're not reading the Bible, you have no connection with God, you're gonna think that means listen to your governors, listen to your mayors. Why would I listen to these people? The craziest commercial I've ever seen in my life for advertisements is when I hear about the mayors and governors. What's the I know somebody here know. What's the black lady that's in Maryland, the governor, senator? What's her name? There you go. Also Brooks. Oh, that's even worse. So it was a commercial about her. You know how they try to talk bad about the opposing person, and it was saying how they were stealing all these apartments from people. But that's a real thing. Like that, it wasn't like she didn't deny it. Like that happened. How can I vote for you? You're a criminal, right? You're not about to benefit me, right? You know what I'm saying? But the thing though, somebody would read that scripture and be like, "Yeah, we gotta vote for it though." When I was working at AutoZone, it was this lady that came up to me in a lap, right? And she was like, "Y'all gonna vote?" And I said, "Nah, Christ." Yeah, I said, "Christ is my king," and she was like, "He my king too, but we need a president."
Oh,
No.
yes.
And she wanted me to vote for Biden. I was like, listen, it don't matter who they vote for. I
But
mean,
that's because that's what they said in the Bible when they said, we need a king. We
Yeah.
well, you,
no. Look, I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson a long time ago. We don't need no king.
Yeah, in the Bible,
Yeah,
they wanted the king.
oh yeah, they wanted a king and they got one,
Yeah,
right?
they got one.
And God and God was trying to tell him that that's not what you need, right? And not saying that he couldn't give him one because he did give him David, right? But there's a problem because now you're gonna have these people that's still in this gray area, and the gray area is the real problem because when somebody talks about laws and government, they feel like you're putting a restriction on them. So they hear words, you judging me, or you doing this, or you doing that. And in reality, that's not the case. It's not the case at all. It's just a structure so you don't do bad, so you don't do mistakes and stuff like that in life, right? To keep us safe, because that's what God wants for us, right? So the next one is 2 Peter chapter 2, verses 9 through 10.
The Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished. But chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanliness, and despise government, presumptuous are they, self-willed, they are not afraid to speak evil of dignities.
All right, so this is the other one they'll use. You see what it said, despise government? They were like, see, you can't talk bad about the government. You can't talk bad about the politicians because they the ones making the rules. But and you see that where it follows, it says flesh and the lust of uncleanness. So this is talking about despising the government when you're doing wrong. It's not talking about despising the government because they just who you are. Like, I'm not about to listen to Nancy Pelosi just because she's on TV. Like, I don't trust you. I don't know you. You got a lot of money. Don't know how you got it. Right?
You stole it.
Yeah, she stole it, right? But people will still vote for it and tell her like, well, it's gonna make the places better. But I've been a kid. Since I've been a child, been enrolled in history looked horrible. They just now fixing that. That's crazy. I'm 50 years old, man. You get what I'm saying? That's ridiculous, right? But it's crazy because they'll turn around and say, "Oh, well, this is where our money going." I can't tell. I was talking to their friend Mr. Mike. Have you ever seen the debt chart? When the money just going up in debt.
The debt.
I haven't. I've never seen it pause. I've never seen it stop. It just goes up every second. Doop, 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 doop. I'm thinking to myself, who we in debt to? We got to be in debt to God or the devil, one of the two. Because nobody, we should be in debt to nobody in that fashion, right? Especially when I'm thinking about all the money we giving. It's like I think it's like maybe like 100 million workers in the country, right? And the average person pays at least $2,000 per taxes. It was so much money to calculate. Like, come on, man, let's get this guy out of here. That's just the money we giving out our wages. We ain't talking about every time you go to the store, you get taxed. And then when you go to certain stores, they tax certain things. I go to Wawa, right? You go to Wawa, you buy chips, you got taxes. I buy seeds, there's no taxes. What are we doing in here? Either we gonna have taxes or you're not. Because that's confusing me. Because then I was mad. 'Cause I went to the gas station. It was taxes. Almost like a whole dollar. I'm like, woo. Okay, what kind of seeds y'all got? Same seeds, right? That's a problem. So Paul talks about this in Romans chapter 3. So Romans chapter 3, verse 31.
Do we then make void the law through faith? God forbid. Yea, we establish the law.
Yep, we can't avoid the law, right? We can't make it void. We need the law because the law is a reflection of how we live, right? But what happens is, like I said, we fall into the law of the world. The law of the world is crazy, right? The rules is crazy. I experienced it at my job. I experienced it at other jobs. The rules make no sense. I'm gonna give you an example. At the AutoZone, we had to change like you go to the store, you see the price tag, right? It's a piece of paper. I asked my boss, can I write on the price tag to help me know how many supposed to go into each row? So like say if I'm just marking, I'll put 7. So when Eli come to fill the shelf up, he know, okay, only 7 fit here. You ever been to a store, there's just so many things piling off the rack? But they all got numbers, but you're not following. I said, can I write on a piece of paper? He said no, because they said it's vandalism, AutoZone's property. For the same tags that we change every week and throw them in the trash. But you want me to be here, answer phone. You want me to do all this stuff. I can't work for you no more, bro. Okay, I can't because it doesn't make sense, right? But what happens is people get so into fear because they're afraid to lose their jobs, their homes, their family, and so much, right? So now we're gonna talk about Satan's government. So I'm pretty sure y'all seen this before. It's one of my favorite scriptures. This is actually the one I gave y'all a little keychain, Ephesians 6 and 12, right? But it's a little different. They changed a little bit. I'm going to show you the part they changed, what makes it a big difference. So this is Ephesians 6 and 12 with the King James Version.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
All right, so that's how it looks in the King James Version, right? So check this out. This is how it used to look in the Geneva Bible. the Geneva Bible. 1599 in the 1599 Geneva Bible, Ephesians 6:12 reads, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the worldly governors, the princes of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness which are in high places." So they took out that governor part, right? Because they know when you put that there, it's going to change a lot, right? Because now you're going to start looking at all the governors of the world. Like I said, I was talking to my brother, and he was talking to me about the war that's going on, or the pre-war, against the crazies and the other crazies, right? And I kept telling him this is all staged. He was sending me videos like, look at the bombs. I say, listen, bro, I don't think you understand, right? You see that, but everything is staged. And I'm gonna show y'all some examples of stage stuff that I found out that I thought was crazy, but it makes sense though, real life, right? And I say this because if you knew that's what you're fighting against, a worldly governor, you'll question. You see where it says in wickedness is in high places. I tell you all the time, y'all see TV shows and movies, or you see somebody in my neighborhood who's evil. You might see somebody who committed a murder, robbed somebody, right? They thieves, right? What happens if the thieves and the murderers and the robbers are the ones in power?
The whole world.
El Salvador, right?
Yeah.
The governor, he's in power, not the one now, but the one before. He was in power. They having 5,000 murders a year because he's in power. Now it's a new governor, even though he with them too. It's a new governor. There's no murders. There was like 5 murders a year. How you go from 5,000 to 5? There has to be some type of inside corruption, right? So that's just what they did. So this is Job chapter 9:24. Just to let you know, the earth does belong to God. It's whatever he does. But right now, Satan is the landlord. Okay, so he's the one who runs the whole situation. You get your money because of Satan. You get this because of Satan. Right? That doesn't mean God couldn't give you money or God couldn't give you house. But Satan is in control of everything. Right? And I'm gonna show you how he leaves his mark throughout the whole world. So this is Job 9:24.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
So it says the earth was given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the face of the judges. If he not the judges, where is he at? So these judges and all these people in these black robes, they're not for you, right? But that's the thing. There's no righteous judgment. I'll give you an example, right? You see how somebody go to jail for killing somebody. They get 30 years. Then you might have somebody else, they go to jail for 2 years. All right, that's crazy. I had a friend who got locked up, right? And they said the judge used to be hard on everybody he was doing. Like, I'm talking about like hard. You got a weed charge? Oh, 10 years. You get, there's a bag of weed, I don't care. Like, right? His son died and he started to change the way he did things. So what he would do, this is the real story. He have a tennis ball in his hand. So say let's say you come up by Zed, right? And what's your charges? And there we all your charges. And you know he'd tell him, and my friend was in jail at the time and he witnessed this. He was like, look, I'm gonna throw this tennis ball at you. If you catch it, you can go home. The man catches the tennis ball, go home. So this is what I'm saying. So check this out. This guy, I don't even say he's a bad person or a good person, but he's not judging righteously. He literally, what if I can't catch? This is a bad situation for me, right? Some of my friends can't catch the ball. He can't catch. He got stone hands. He'd be going to jail, right? I'm going home. He's going to jail. But just think about that, right? Somebody is in power and he's not judging off of righteousness or unrighteousness. He's judging off how he feel. I feel like this or I feel bad. I was in a car one day with my friends and we got pulled over. And the guy didn't pull over because we did anything. He just saw a bunch of black kids. But what happened was we didn't know his son had got killed like a couple months ago. So now he was like really hard on all black children. And I'm like, I get it. But first you scared because I'm going to go to jail. What you going to do? But just thinking about now he's in an emotional state. But you know why? It's because, like I said, there is no righteousness or unrighteousness, right? It's all about how you feel and things of that nature. These pictures, okay. So these are the people who are against us, right? So this is Psalms 83. I'll take out Romans. I'll put Romans first. This is Psalms 83, verses 1 through 18. It's basically the whole chapter.
Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee.
All right, stop. All right, so it says they come out crafty counsel Talmud, right? So Talmud is it's like an evil doing, right? They make a Talmud it's like a pact, right? So these people who are against God, well, they are against God's chosen people, which is Israel. And this is talking about. So this is David asking God to protect us from his enemies, right? It says to make Israel no more in remembrance, right? Right? Forget they being a nation. I tell you all the time. This right here I can show you. This is how this. I know this is black people who don't know who they are. It's them, right? Let alone the Jewish people that's there now, they got moved there. It's called the State of Israel. I don't know if you know this. The State of Israel belongs to America. It's not their own country. It's nothing. It is an entity of America. This is why America goes fights for them. People are mad. You can't keep fighting for our country. They are your country. Yeah, they are your country, right? Yeah, but see, people don't know these things because they're just going by what the news tells them to say, right? And don't get it twisted. I'm not saying everything they say in the news is a lie, but I'm gonna say about 72%. That's a nice number, right? Because they got to tell you some truth, or the truth won't work, right? And so now this is telling you who is actually against it. So this is verses 6 to the rest of them. I'll let you read the rest of them.
The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebel and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have holpen the children of Lot, Selah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, and to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb and like Zeb, yea, all their princes as Zebah and as Zalmunna, who said, let us take ourselves the houses of God in possession. O my God, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Lord. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Jehovah, art the most high over all the earth.
All right, he read Jehovah. It ain't Jehovah, it's a high. That's why I put it down. Don't listen to that Jehovah. Jehovah means wicked God in Hebrew, okay? Do not listen to that, right? All right, so this is talking about everybody's against us, right? Which is the most of the world. But it's not really about that, right? Because these people that also made a pact. You see where it says, who let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession? Well, if y'all don't know, when you go around the world and you see all these countries and empires, they were actually built by people of dark skin. Right, you may see China in the wall and all that. They didn't build that, right? You see all the stuff out in DC. We built that. We built everything, but that's part of it, right? Because if we get away from God, they can use us as they're doing now for money, things like that. So we build off them. It's like our riches, their riches come off our downfall. If we up, they don't got nothing. It's like all the gold in the world, that was all Solomon's at one point. So all the gold you got a gold chain, gold earring, anything you got, that was on the Solomon. When Solomon failed, it got distributed throughout the world. And now, I don't know who got it now. Queen Elizabeth, somebody, one of them people got it. Like, I ain't got no gold. Gold keep going up. Y'all got the gold I gave y'all. We got that little bit of gold. We still got some gold left, right? So they make it, like I said, they're making this council, right? So this is what they do. So people always say the government is bad. It's not that. They're not the government is bad. It's a couple of people that's in it, right? And what they do is they infiltrate, whether it's the church, your mama's church, your job, a football team, ownership, all right? So, y'all see these people? I know y'all know some of these people, these big head guys, especially that dude, Mark Twain. He just come with his head.
It's funny because in Psalms 83, verse 2 and 3, it says Talmud, right?
Yeah.
Well, the Jewish man of today in the state of Israel, they follow a book called
The Talmud. Yeah.
And that's their book. So that's just crazy.
And listen, it's like I said, it's been told, but the problem is you got all these problems. Like I'm gonna say, like these guys, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm not sitting here and saying none of these guys is good or bad. We got Richard Pryor, got Mark Twain, good old Thurgood Marshall. I went to his school. Francis Scott Key. I thought it was a black person. He's definitely white. John Hancock is your signature or whatever. You got Mozart, which is I guess a pianist boy. You got Samuel Adams, you drink. Beethoven, apparently he's deaf, but he's just the most musical genius in the world. They be having some crazy stories. You got Thomas Edison, Mr. Electricity, light bulb man. And then you got Buzz Aldrin. If y'all don't know Toy Story, Buzz Lightyear, this is where his character comes from. Right? A guy who ain't never been to the moon, but he has it. So you got Colonel Sanders, you got Henry Ford. So does anybody know what they have in common?
Yeah, white people.
Well, nah, you got Thurgood Marshall. That's what I see. I had to get you because Thurgood up there, Richard probably dead. I got some more black people too. Hold on. Yeah, here you go. What they got in common?
All Democrats.
All Democrats. Come on now. We know Rosa looked good at her time. I can't speak about backstage water. I've only seen her at this age. And Maya Angelou is still I Rise, right? And I think it's I got one picture here.
And see them.
All right, so all right.
With any other topic on that, they still are different.
All right, so the real connection to them, right? They all Masons, or some form of secret society, or society with secrets. They're not secrets. We know about them. We know they're Masons, right? Yeah. They're not a secret society. They're a society with secrets, right? So this is what I started learning, understanding. You don't get your name in the books or for us to talk about you like we do unless you want it up. This day world, this not ours. See, we don't know that. All your people, so for instance, right, George Washington, right? Y'all know the Washington Monument. You see this? This is all these other people Masons. Wait a minute. That's the wrong one, right? Sorry, we having that glitch. There we go. So now there's a bunch of Masons, right? You got that picture. You got a couple black people y'all may know. You got Shaq. You got what's that guy there at the top name? Don King. You got Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, the guy that was with Martin Luther King when he got shot. Ain't amazing. Sugar Ray Robinson. You got a few people. You got some people down there that's like in the military and stuff like that, right? So these are called Eastern Stars, right? So this is kind of like another section of the Freemasons, right? So yeah, for women, right? So when you saw Rosa Parks and all them, they Eastern Stars. All right. So it's not Rosa Parks wasn't special because she was with somebody. She's one of them. So it's easy to put her on it because before that happened to her, it was happening to plenty of people. Right. And you got to think about it, right? I tell people all the time, just think about when you outside in the street, even today, right? When you taking pictures and cameras, are you just outside taking pictures? I mean, nowadays people just be outside recording everything, right? But when I was a kid, I would just see pictures of Rosa Parks on the bus. Who took this picture? Get off my bus. I thought we had a problem. Same thing with the Hitler situation and the Jews. Why would I take a picture? We about to die. I'm not taking no picture with y'all. Just kill me, bro. Let's go ahead. You taking the picture. That's strange. But the picture isn't a real picture. It's a picture for us to believe in a certain narrative, right? Because all these people, like I said, they're in the group, right? The Masons, hidden hands. So let me go back to this. I gotta go back to him. You see, what's that guy right there? Useless Grant. Useless Grant.
Yeah.
When you look him up, it say he not a Mason, right? It say that he affiliated with some of them, but he not a Mason. But what's going on? That's him though, doing the same Mason sign as the rest of them. But think about this though. When I was a kid, I knew about Charles Darwin. That's the evolution man. Hey, listen, I'm telling you, yeah, because people think these are the fans. This is the hidden trick.
The whole music industry, you can't get in unless you fit in.
You can't, right? It's like a rite to passage, right? So then when you become super big, so that's Stalin, right? The person who killed all these Africans. That's George Washington. That's Napoleon. But just think about all these people are people we always heard about, right? When I used to be in school, they talk about the same people for like Black History Month. Like, bro, is this somebody else? This somebody's been catch up or something like that? It's the same people. But what I found out is it's not about being the same people. It's about this day group. So you, my friend, I'm gonna put you on, because I mean that's how I always been. If I got a job, I got you your job, right? Hey, that's what you do. So I'm not mad at what they do, but this is different because they use the evil. You know what I'm saying? I got him a job, so I want him to be better with himself. They're doing evil, so of course I'm gonna get myself in. When you look up here, you got like John Elway, you got country singers, you got what's that guy name right there? It's so many of them, man. I was going crazy when I looked at this list on Wikipedia, and this is the ones that's documented. The list was so long, I couldn't even get through the whole list. And I was only in A through D, like A through D last names. I wouldn't even go through E and Z. I couldn't even get through the list, right? Even the children, right? When Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, those are maybe Masonic forms, right? Because you don't get to join. They got to pick you. Right, but when you join these ones as a kid, because your mom might sign you up or whatever, when you join them, they kind of grooming you. So it's like, oh, Jew been in this for a second, or Eli been in this for a second, he might be good because you can't go to a Mason Law and say I want to join. They got to recruit you. They got to see something in you. You know, make sure you pop. Make sure you can contribute, right? Because everybody saw up there, Richard Proud of them. They funny comedians, stuff like that. But I always wonder why, like, dang, why he just so popular? Like, what separates him from this comedian, or what separates this guy from this athlete? Because, like I said, they indoctrinate you in your kids. Just the girl version.
So the kids, though, you're saying that the Boy Scouts and stuff, is that the regular Boy Scouts or that's something?
No, that's the regular Boy Scouts.
That's all Boy
Yeah, it's all Boy Scouts.
All Boy
It's
Scouts,
controlled by
all
them.
Girl Scouts, yeah.
So I'll show you. Let me go back for a second.
Girl Scouts.
If you was doing
Same thing.
If you was doing some wicked stuff as a kid, they would like take notice of that and put your name on a list or in a book or something. And then when the higher ups come by, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, we will talk to him."
All right, so like,
Anybody can join the Scouts.
yeah. Listen, you can. But see, that's the grooming process because if yeah, so when you go there, we'll find out who's who, like who your parents are, stuff like that. Because if it was on the same level as when you get older, as a like a Mason or somebody from the Knights, it'd be a little different because now they're like, well, they didn't pick you since you was a kid, but they let everybody had the opportunity. And then when we seeing like, oh, Isaiah could jump 20 feet out the gym, let's put him in a basketball court, and we'll support him through that. Or Ray can be the best, I don't know, card man. And like, you know what, he got an idea about cards, we can use him for that, right? Because once he comes to the Freemasonry, he don't have them type of privileges like he used to. But it's a group, so they keep the secrets. But you see how they got that little handshake? That's a Mason handshake. The pyramid, all this stuff. But it's just on a lower level for the children, right? And I'm going to show y'all some more pictures that explain what we're talking about. So this is the war, right? All right, so this is the war. This is a video about a Masonic building. I think this works. Hand me that remote, bro. No, let me hand me the other one. This ain't gonna work. This TV trash.
Yeah.
All right, so this is a guy named Jordan Maxwell. Yeah, he about to explain about what's in front of this Masonic temple.
They create chaos, and they create control.
Over the world headquarters in Switzerland of the World Masonic Headquarters for World Freemasonry, over the door is Ordo ad Chaos, which is Latin for Order out of Chaos. And all Freemasons know that term, Ordo ad Chaos. Order out of chaos. The concept is to create chaos, to create the problems. Then while the people are frightened to death of all the crime and everything that seems to be out of control, a riotous situation, the government then moves in with justification. In order to put down this terrible chaos, they must have full power of the military, full obedience of the people to give the government full power to do whatever they want. That's why we have in all over the world wars, riots, bloodshed, famines, all kinds of things happening around the world. It's being manipulated. It's being orchestrated. Not just for Los Angeles.
Conflict control.
Conflict control.
There's been more wars since the creation of the United Nations.
All right, so he was saying everybody knows this and all the things order out of chaos, right? Like I said, this is the small group. So let's say I'll say it's about like 2 to 5 million people from out of like Freemasons, Eastern Stars, all these in the groups together in the whole world, right? They got all these lodges and stuff like that across the world. And like I said, what you don't know is that they don't know neither. When they go there, they're told they can worship any god they want to, which is crazy. That's already violation 1 of the 10 Commandments. Don't put no God before me. It's crazy. That's already violation 1. But they told you worship any god, right? Now realizing what they don't know is when they do this, they automatically telling they soul to Lucifer. They don't know this. Or the adversary, whatever you want to call him, Lucifer. I call him Lucy. I don't like him, right?
Big stone.
Yeah, so this is another video, right? And this is about more Masonic stuff that we take a part of that y'all know. And everybody probably for the most part did this.
Kids graduate from university. Incidentally, the word graduate comes from 2 words, gradually indoctrinate. So consequently, when you graduate, you come out with a square mortarboard. The mortarboard is a symbol of masonry. This is why you go to college to get a degree. Consequently, you need to understand that all universities and colleges in the Western world operate under the Vatican. All universities and colleges. So if you're saving your money to send your kids to college, just remember you're sending them to a Jesuit, Catholic, dominated ancient Roman Empire system whereby your children are to gradually be indoctrinated into a system of religion, politics, and theology. As far back as the 5th and 6th century, we know that the escapades of the popes, many of them were homosexual, most of them were murderers. They were all offsprings of bankers. The entire Vatican system was a banking system. Today's Uniform Commercial Code is based on the old Vatican canon law. So once you understand the church, government, politics are all interconnected, and the secret societies have been manipulating them all from day one.
All right. I got one more video at the moment. Oh yeah, I like this one. So you talk about Masons and what they doing again. This is another guy though.
Masons are like homosexuals. They can't reproduce themselves naturally. They can only, yeah, amen. They can only recruit. You know, think of that. That's the way with every cult. If you know someone who's a Mason, or if you yourself are a Mason, realize that when you kneel at the altar of Masonry as an entered apprentice, and you take that oath, you are adopted into the family of Lucifer at that moment. Now, you don't probably know that. I did. But most people don't even know that. And as a result, if you're a Christian, mind you, there are pastors that are doing this. There are deacons that are doing this. There are countless Christian lay people that are doing this. You cannot serve two masters. And if you understood the profound relationship between witchcraft and Freemasonry, you know what that cord, that cable tow meant, because they've got a rope around their neck. And what that means in witchcraft and the occult is that is a symbol of the umbilical cord of the mother goddess, the queen of heaven, linking her to her hidden child. So this guy has just been born again by the queen of hell, the consort of Lucifer. Freemason has this happen to them. And they don't understand the dynamics, probably 99 out of 100, but they still go through it.
All right. Another page. So he was telling.
I mean, can people denounce that when they find the truth? Once they've gotten into that stuff?
Oh, what you become Mason?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
You
can.
can't tell them no.
Yeah, you can.
You like if because I sent you the video, and this one guy, he was always intrigued by the Masonry, so he joined it, you know, not knowing and such. As he was getting further into the degrees or whatever, he was also reading more about Christianity. And so when he found out a set amount of information about Christianity and realized what he was doing in Freemasonry, he was like, nah, I gotta stop this. And so at that point in time, when he found that out, he just become an inside man, really.
Yeah, so the higher you go, the more you know. But the higher you go, it gets harder to get out.
But you can't write a letter and say,
Nope.
yeah. She did that for
Oh, really?
AKA or something like that.
Oh yeah. No. So yeah, you can get out, but like let's say I was in it and I got to like be a 30-second. They're not gonna just let me out because if I'm up that high, it's because I'm in a position of power.
Sound like a game.
Yeah, it's like a game. So yeah, you can get out. So you roll like even if you like fraternity, you can get out of it. But when you get to a certain position, like Obama or George Washington, they're like, hey man, you know you third, but you can't just go. We need you, baby. You know what I'm saying? He goes like because he has some access to power they need. Mm-hmm. So once you get to a certain degree, it's like we can let you out, but if we let you out, yeah, that's the only way you gotta go out. Like you gotta die, right? Because we can't because you now you know too much. And if you know all this, you're gonna start spreading secrets. Like for instance, JFK, y'all know if y'all seen him, he got shot by the driver, right? Mm-hmm. So JFK was in this thing called like the Knights or whatever. And what they were trying to do was I didn't realize his dad. They had all these. I'm gonna show y'all a video. They had all these. I guess he got like a bunch of brothers and stuff, right? So it's hundreds of them. So what they were trying to do, they were trying to do the same thing the Masons was doing, but just with the Kennedy family. And they like, oh no.
Cut that out.
Yeah, you can't do that, buddy. If you ever heard this speech before he died, he talks about the secret society and stuff like that. Like I try to play it once we be eating and stuff, but he talks about it like, well, he know enough because he got up here. Like I said, you're not about to become a president unless you know somebody. You got to go to some rituals, Skull and Bones, Freemason. They're not just picking you off the street. Right, because we gotta make sure you know what's going on, mm-hmm. Right? You ever seen all these movies like I live in Culpeper, right, in Virginia. So I used to go to this chiropractor office, and across the street was a Rising building. It was always kind of like empty, but they said they were always just like lose service from time to time, right?
Mm-hmm.
They said it's an underground tunnel from Culpeper straight to DC.
Yep.
Because they got to have access to get them out. It is crazy. If you watch movies, it's always underground tunnels to the White House and all that. Because if something go wrong, how we gonna get? We can't bring him through the streets.
The one building on the hill that's a library. That's another tunnel too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, I was in DC one day.
It's in the hill, or whatever. It's right off of Route 3. That building is linked up. If it's not linked up directly to the Verizon one, it's linked up to where straight to DC too.
So I was in DC one day, right? And I guess at this time, I think Biden was the president. They stopped all traffic. Just they wasn't driving; they were flying in the air. Like the helicopters and planes came by. Every car. I was on Constitution. Everything between Constitution 15, 16, 17 stopped. All the cops came, blocked. I'm like, you think I got like a rocket launch? I just grab that phone and shoot it from the ground. But they just stopped it because I mean, this just their guy, right? They got to make sure they're safe. Now, everybody that could be in it doesn't mean, like I said, the Masons. It doesn't mean that they know everything that's going on. Like I said, the higher you go, the more you know. But once you know to a certain thing, it's like, well, we can't really let you out because if you do, you might start telling on us. So right here, this is like it's like a blurry picture. I don't really like it, but this is just how their pyramid structure work. You see it say save fallen angels, powers, and principalities. That's 6 and 12, right? Satan doesn't run the world. These just the people that's helping them do it. So you got the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, the secret societies. You see how high the secret societies is up? They only under the bankers, which control everything because they the ones giving the money. And then you got the world leaders, you got the Vatican, religious leaders, Hollywood. They go down to us, the common people. Same thing on the pyramid. You see, we debt, slaves, labor, taxes. We just terrible. But the crazy part about it is, right, it's more of us than it is them. If everybody just wake up and just start punching people, I be telling you all the time, let's go punch somebody. we go win. But what they really think they can do is they can vote. But it's the thing, you probably can vote somebody in, right? You can try to vote. I can try to vote you in Congress. I can try to vote him in Congress, X, Y, Z. But you don't know when you go in there, the gang's already in there. Mm-hmm. So when the gang see you, they like, well, like him. Right? Same thing with cops, right? Cops do the dirtiest things, but they won't tell on each other, right? I'm talking about like you could do like, hey, you are a cop, and you see how like say you say you unallow somebody, you want to allow somebody, whatever. The cops be having the like longest trials, the lightest sentences. If that was me, oh boy, I'd have been killed on the scene. They'd have been killed me, right? It's not because of that. It's because they're part of the brotherhood. I found this out one day when I had a ticket. And I was like, I'm gonna beat this ticket because I don't see the cop. I was wrong because he showed up late with his suit all on. But all the cops was on the side. And when they were speaking to the judge, they didn't call me. They spoke to him like I said, what's up, Isaiah? I was like, oh.
Spoke to him like friends. Y'all
friends? Yep. Oh no, I'm cooked. I'm not gonna bet this. Yeah. But now I know that I understand the game now. It's really about me, right? I did, and then, like I said, so you got all these different rules. In Maryland, when on Maryland, DC, when I get a ticket, if the cop don't show, I'm free. In Virginia, if the cop don't show, you're not free. You still gotta pay. You still gotta pay the fine. I pay court fees. My court fees is more than the fine. Yep. I was like, I'm about to pay the fine. It's crazy. I still got robbed to show up, and I didn't want to come here. They want you gotta pay these. When I gotta pay them today. Oh, what? Oh, I'm going to jail? Oh man! But and the crazy part about it is you're already getting paid. So, like I said, these are the issues that we have in the world. This is another pyramid. So this is like some of the secret societies. You got the Black Brotherhood, the Knight of Pelican, Eagles. So everything may not say Freemason all the time, right? But it'll be some type of society with all those symbols and stuff like that, like this. That's why I said don't say Yahweh. You see that evil looking book? That's the tetragrammaton, or whatever they call it, a YHVH, YWH. I just threw that picture in this. I thought it was funny, like that Israel be like beating up people and then turn around like, we ain't do nothing. Like you smack the beehive, turn the camera like, hey yo, yeah, I ain't gonna talk to them, right? But the thing about it is though, right? You already been programmed in church. When you go to church, what they say, if you bless Israel, God will bless you. Curse Israel. So people been giving money to them this whole time. And I'm like, let's say they are the real people, right? You think God people should be acting like that? Right? Because like I said, the stuff they doing, like I was telling you, I said it before, I said it again. Over there, right, they have control over the Palestinians that's around. They were only giving them electricity for 2 days out of the week, and only giving them water for like a day out the week. Right? That's not God's people. If they are God's people, they need to go. God got to get a new group of people, right? Because how am I supposed to believe they the chosen ones and they will be doing us good and stuff like that when they're doing nothing but total evil, right? So this is what I'm going to talk about how they're behind the light. So this is 1 John 4, 1 through 3. Because like I said, we look up to these people who famous, thinking they, sweet, and they really been doing this crazy for a long time. And they run everything. I didn't realize how much it was, so I started doing research, and I was kind of like, dang, like everything. But not everything, because they all run Mom's Organic. You know what I'm saying? I said, go to Mom's Organic, get y'all fruit, man. It's some good stuff.
Kennedy didn't know that until he tried to play dirty.
Yeah, until he got his head blown off right for his wife, right?
Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. Hereby know ye the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesseth that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is of God. And every spirit that confesseth not that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is not of God. And this is the spirit of Antichrist, whereof ye have heard that it should come. And even now already is it in the world.
So they talking about Antichrist. I was saying Antichrist coming. It just said it right there. The Antichrist is already in the world. Anti means against. So anything that's against Christ, you're already here, right? Whether it's a politician, like next door neighbor, it's already here. They got the world believing it's gonna be a moment where you see this one person come out the dark and be like, "Oh, that's him," because you know what's crazy? Lucifer is gonna show himself, but when he shows himself, he's not gonna come out as this dark person. He's actually gonna be a king that everybody bow down to. Because all they doing right now is just tuning you in for it, tuning you, getting you desensitized. Like when I was a kid, it's the last on TV that they did show back when I was a kid. Like, the sex is crazy. They be showing genitals down. It is just, I'm like, what kind of channel on TV I'm watching right now? It wasn't like that. But now they pushing all over the cartoons, even shows on commercials, even, what's that thing called? Y'all, the little kids playing the thing called Roblox.
Roblox.
Yeah, right. So
wicked things on Roblox.
On Roblox, right? And you can put that you're a child like 5 years old, and it will still send you stuff about like, yeah, all this. So the kids are seeing this. They seeing like porn and all this type of stuff coming across their screen, and the parents don't know. They just get a kid the iPad and just let him do what he want to do. I'm like, oh man, that's the wrong thing to do. But what happens is because, like I said, you're not there with your child, right? Because somebody was talking about should you I guess should you let your child watch certain stuff? I guess you can, because at this moment we all grew up on these cartoons and stuff, right? But it's different when you there to tell them. Like I was telling him, I said I'd rather my child know about sex from me than go in the streets and find out about it. Cause that's how I found out about it. That's a terrible recipe for disaster for any kid. I remember I was in the 4th grade. It was this kid. He could not stop talking about sex. All he wanted to have sex with all the girls. I'm like, bro, I'm in the 4th grade. Imagine in the 4th grade, I'm only like 8 years old. I'm like, bro, who are you? You're like my hero, right? But I know it's wrong, but at the same time, it's like, yo, where your purse at? And as I get older, I can see how bad that was. But just think about if you're not teaching your kids about anything, sex, food, marriage, all these things, they're gonna find it from the streets. Cause that's how I found it. And when you find it out that way, that's the hard way. Oh, you want some drugs, man? Come on, some drugs. Like what?
What's a drug?
Yeah, and you doing it. I do drugs there. Yeah, and the problem is there's no shaming or nothing, right? So this thing little dollar bill. It is something I wish I can show y'all. Let me see if I can zoom in. Nah, they ain't gonna let me zoom in like I want to. It's all good. All right, you see that little shield in the green right there? That's a Mason shield. You see that little key with the scales? I thought the scales meant like balance and all that God stuff. No, it's a Mason shield, right? Everybody's on the dollar bill. You are a Mason. Like I said, you're not about to just put any president. That's why JFK don't know. You haven't been put anybody on it, right? And if you are on something, people like Abraham Lincoln, because I think his face has turned the other way compared to other coins. This the illusion. When I was in the 9th grade, it was a teacher I had. He was the first woke black guy I ever met in my life. He coming in with the little dashiki thing and all that stuff. But he was letting us listen to these Abraham Lincoln speeches. Abraham Lincoln hate black people. But they're not gonna let you hear those, like I said, because you're not there, you don't know, and why would I allow you to hear that tape? Because all you're gonna hear about is the tape, like Martin Luther King. You will hear about the free at last, make everybody join, but you rarely hear the tape about him talking about the money and taking all the money out the banks. You barely hear that one because they know it's detrimental to what they're trying to do, right? So this the back of it, right? So you got this thing says Annuit Oceptus, which is like our crown or something. Our crown is here. Then the bottom right here says Novos Ordo Seclorum. That's the New World Order or New Order of the World, right? Now, mind you, what does a bunch of, I guess, Europeans got to do with a pyramid, right?
In Roman words at that.
Yeah. So this is Latin. As you can see how so you see how the triangles are intersection, right? That's that Star of David, but it's really Star Moloch, right? And you see all the letters, it actually spells out Mason. right? They real crafty at how they do it. You got the M on the bottom corner, the O, the N, the A, and the S, right? All right, so yeah, and you see where it's saying God we trust you, like that God built this station. Yeah, but that's why I tell you all the time, what God? Right? Because there's more than one. Even God said there's more than one God, right? What God? Because this is the God they serve. Now this is real key. You see this? You see this pyramid, right? All right. So that's the pyramid. You see the pyramid, how it has the eye like floating above the pyramid and it's flat. So then this is right here. This is the pyramid of Giza. This one flat too, right? Yeah, that's the top. That's the top view, and that's the like always. So that's like the bird's eye view. But you see how it's flat, right? So we all know pyramids are supposed to have a triangle piece, right? So the reason why in that dollar bill is a gap, right? Because they reject the chief cornerstone, which is Christ. So you see this pyramid, they didn't build this, right? God sent some angels down to put Azazel. Azazel's under this. This is a prison, right? And there's no triangle. Really, he don't serve Christ. So we're not gonna put the triangle on it. Now the ones next to it, they got the points, but this one don't. Right? That was done purposely by God to let y'all know who this is, what it stands for. We don't know that. We just see it as this Great Pyramid of Giza. So I know this is the Washington Monument, right? I don't know. That was supposed to be like a horse with George Washington sitting on it. They moved that statue somewhere else because it didn't work. But this is the Washington Monument. It's named after him. If you don't know, Washington, D.C. is named after George Washington. Like I say, he's like the worst of the worst. It's named after him. So Washington, D.C. stands for Washington District of Columbia. I think I showed y'all this last time before. Remember I showed y'all this with the lady? I remember. All right, so that's called Columbia. Right, but really what it is it's supposed to be liberty and freedom, right, before the Statue of Liberty. But really what it really is this is their homage to Christopher Columbus, right? Because people think he discovered America. He really didn't discover America. He knew it was here already. He was looking for slaves. So they gave him props. And when you go look this up, it will tell you that Christopher Columbus is not amazing, but he did affiliate with secret societies. Yep. Okay, so like I said, one way or another, you got to be part of the crew or somebody in the crew. So this is a video from a guy named Bill Cooper. So he's going to talk about, he was in the military, right?
The right track.
And he talks about how he was trying to be an officer, right? Or whatever, get to a certain position. And he said everybody that was in a high rank officer position was a Mason. And he going to explain everything. He goes talk about the Kennedy thing. I'm going to try to find a Kennedy video if y'all never seen it before when he got shot in the car. You've seen that before, right? Yeah, it's crazy.
Don't believe anybody. Don't believe me. Don't believe George Bush. Don't believe anyone. You got to go out and you got to get proof in your hand before you can believe anything. And to do otherwise today is the biggest mistake that anyone could ever make. You begin believing people, putting your trust in them, that they're telling you the truth. I guarantee you, you're going to take a ride on a roller coaster you don't want to be on.
Mm-hmm. Now this controversy, and I say the very understatement controversy.
Yes.
It also is now extending, based on some things that you're revealing, into the Kennedy assassination.
Yes, in the set of documents, which really was literally 2 or 3 file cabinets of documents called Operation Majority, I saw documents which told me what happened in Dallas and why. And basically what these documents said was that the intelligence community felt that John F. Kennedy was a threat to the national security, which translated into reality means was a threat to the New World Order, the one world government, which they were actively in the process of forming.
Was there anything on record that indicated that he was out to, things that he did would threaten that New World Order?
Oh, absolutely. He had written an executive order. I don't remember the exact number now, but it's available to anybody who wants to go look it up. He had written an executive order ordering the printing of United States notes, which would have broken the back of the Federal Reserve, which is one of the major instruments of propelling the United States into the New World Order by destroying our economy, the basis upon which we live, the basis upon which our whole society is founded, is being ripped right out from under us. That was one. Number 2, he refused to provide air support for the invasion of Bay of Pigs, which ensured that would be a failure. He had threatened publicly on several occasions to disband the CIA and scatter it to the 1,000 winds. He had ordered, in the documents that I saw, he had ordered the intelligence community prepare a plan to disclose the truth about UFOs to the public. Now, I don't know what that truth was. Could be that maybe there are no extraterrestrials. But whatever the truth was, he had ordered a plan to be prepared but that disclosure was going to be done according to the plan within the following year. And the intelligence community considered that to be out of the question. And according to the documents that I saw, his assassination was ordered by the policy committee of the Bilderberg Group, which is really the secret world government, and was carried out by agents of Division 5 of the FBI, the Secret Service, the Central Intelligence Agency, and the Office of Naval Intelligence, of which I was a part.
Yeah, a lot of agencies.
And it said that the assassin, the man who actually administered the head wound, was the driver of the car, William Greer, a Secret Service agent, who used an assassination pistol built by the CIA for assassinations. It was really an air gun that fired an exploding pellet or could fire a small hypodermic needle or a poison dart using any one of many different deadly poisons. Specifically, it said that he fired an exploding pellet which contained shellfish toxin, and that the act was plainly visible in a film withheld from the public. I looked for 16 years to find that film, and I finally found a copy that showed William Greer turn around and shoot the president. And since 1988, I've been showing that film wherever I'm able to show it to wake people up. It is not our government, though you have to understand, that is doing these things. It is not our government that's failing us. It's not the Constitution or the Bill of Rights that's a bad instrument. It is a group of men who belong to secret societies who have infiltrated our society and our government at all levels and are destroying it and subverting it from within. And every member of naval intelligence that I knew who was an officer was a 32nd or a 33rd degree Freemason. And I asked my commanding officer at one point, I said, why are all you guys Masons? He said, Masons are used to keeping secrets. It's part of their fraternity. So if you want someone who already knows how to keep a secret, you recruit Freemasons. Well, later on, I found out what the truth is. The truth is you're not going to be a naval intelligence officer unless you are a Freemason or a member of the Ancient Order of the Rose and Cross, but you have to be high degrees for that. I think the reason I was selected as a enlisted man is because I had belonged to the Demolay Society. Which is what? As a teenager. That's sort of the first level of Freemasonry. That's how they recruit teenagers and indoctrinate them into their principles so that they go right into Freemasonry when they become an adult. So basically, that's the story.
I mean, long words.
Based on the information that you're revealing, which would seem to be equally or if not more of a threat than what Kennedy was originally planning on doing, this is actually revealing the underlying cause of all of this. Why is it that you are here today, or how is it that you are here today and you're not, conveniently taken away and put in a padded cell somewhere so that you can't speak of these things?
Well, I really don't know the true answer to that question, because you would have to ask them to find out why they haven't done anything. But I can tell you this, I began to reveal information in 1976. And I was physically attacked on 2 occasions. My skull was caved in. That's what all these scars are here. On the second attack, I lost my leg. They visited me in the hospital. They had no intention of killing me. They were delivering a message to me. Shut up. And that was the message that came through loud and clear. And 2 men who identified themselves with identification cards who belonged to the Defense Investigative Service, which is really the Defense Intelligence Agency, asked me if I was going to shut up or they were going to have to do it right. And I told them, I said, you don't have to worry about me. I'm going to be a good little boy for the rest of my life. And yeah, I'm going to shut my mouth. And I did for 16 years, kept silent until I saw this UFO magazine in a bookstore, which indicated that they had implemented the contingency plan called Majestic. But if you want to know what I think the reason is, I believe that there are several. One, they've had a plan that's been in force since the 40s to debunk, ridicule, destroy anybody who ever talks about these subjects. The public has been thoroughly indoctrinated that if you talk about any of these things that I'm talking about, you're just another nut So the public, by and large, doesn't pay any attention to it. So in that sense, I'm not a threat. If the president had come on television and said, hey, this is what's going on, then they would have listened and they pay attention to it. But people like me, they perceive me as being just another loony bin, fruitcake, a nut, which I assure you I'm not. But that's the perception that they've been brainwashed into believing. And so that's what they believe. Number two, I'm so much in front of the public from the very beginning when I began to talk. And that's how I protected myself, or at least that's what I thought would protect me, and so far it's proven to be right, was that if I got literally in front of the public overnight, in front of a large public, that they wouldn't do anything to me because it would substantiate what it was that I'm saying. And they certainly don't want to do that. But also create a martyr. And martyrs create tremendously dangerous political movements that they don't want that either. So literally within a 24-hour period, I spent $27,000 mailing a thick packet of information all over the world to people I never heard of, didn't know. I went down and got some mailing lists and just mailed stuff all over the world. And so literally, when people opened these packages in their mailbox, it was a perfect plan because they couldn't stop it. They didn't even know I was going to do it in the first place. And since we sent it all over the world, once it was out, there's no way they could retrieve it. At least no way that I could conceal it. So literally within 24 hours, I was a public presence. And people were asking all over the world, who's Bill Cooper? Is this true? Look what I got in the mail. And just literally flipped the world over on its ear.
Okay. The fact is that you heard you got asked him, what was the underlying cause of this, right? Did he answer that? No. He gave a lot of other gobbledygook and doodle all that other kind of stuff, just throw more confusion out. The undercover, the whole thing with Kennedy was, Kennedy realized that the Jews was covering too much. And his whole thing was to get them out. Because when they had their people coming in, they said, you got to register them. Because you're not going to come in here and just run stuff, right? You had to register
them as a
foreign nation.
Yeah,
and he said, we're not doing that because they're doing that. Kennedy says, okay, fine. We're going to get you out of this. We're going to take you out the dollar. We're going to do all that stuff. All that stuff that they was doing, they did that because Kennedy was going out here saying, no, we're going to get rid of y'all.
With the Federal Reserve, too.
I mean, all that. So they did all that together because the Jews ran the Federal Reserve. They put it all together. So all that. So what he was doing was trying to destroy them. Okay, and say, no, we're not having it.
He tried to actually take America back the way how he tried to do it, but when they found out about it, off the map.
They took him out. See, that's what I said. That's why he did not answer the question when he says, well, what was the underlying thing under this?
Yeah, you ain't hear. He said he missing a leg. He said he missing a leg. They took his leg from him.
Yeah, you know.
So when he was talking, I wouldn't say nothing either because they took my leg. Clearly it'd be business. I only got one leg. You know what I mean? Now I don't know what to do with one leg, man.
Follow the trail of the entire Kennedy family. They came from the most powerful organization out there, of the Vatican. If you listen to Kennedy's speeches, prior to the separation of church and state from in existence, the Vatican ran everything. Kennedy's speeches was lead or trying to lead things back to the Vatican.
Yeah, but
that's what got him killed.
They were also because he had. See, remember in the beginning, the Vatican did not accept the Jews. They did not.
They didn't. That's why Kennedy was
afraid. Then the Jews started coming in and taking the money and this, that, and the other, making this. They go, wait a minute, this ain't gonna happen. So that's how Kennedy became president because the Vatican was behind him pushing that because he was the only Catholic president we ever had.
Run for that very reason.
Exactly. You know, but the Vatican is strong. The Vatican is stronger than that. So
I know, but I just saying that was a problem.
And when Bobby came along, and it looked as if Bobby was going to be president, then it looked as like Eddie had become president. It like the Kennedy family might get to what they wanted.
Kennedy was getting shit.
He had that thing that drowned that girl too. But they were the most rich organization out there.
All right, so
I'm just saying that his points were he took on superficial stuff
Yeah,
around it, but he never talked about how and why.
Yeah, it's a reason why. Though. I'm gonna tell you. So this is 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 13, 15. Because the Catholics are just like them though. So you have two different sides, right? So I don't know if you saw. I'll go back to the pictures, but you see how it's like it was like two birds in the picture, because the two birds is it's like so. There's a west side of the secret societies and then the east side. The east side is where the Catholics came from, right? So hey, go in my room on my piano. It's like a black book, say Illuminati. Because it's like you said, like gangs, right? It's like police, right? Police may not know somebody. So like we got PG, Capitol Heights. They may not know them, but since they all police, when it's police time, it's respect. But when in reality, they all have like their inner little beefs and wars. That right there, what you were saying, what Kennedy and them is a inner beef and inner war. So I got this book, right? It's called Illuminati 2. Right. So this guy, Henry Mack guy, I was trying to do information on him. I cannot find nothing about this guy. I see like 3 pictures on Google's, one link, right? But he got all these books, right? And it talks about what I was saying. So what y'all was saying is true, right? But what they don't know is Kennedy is one of them on the other side. So he come from the east side. So what y'all basically witnesses is like inner gang beef. They're like, ho, 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 ho. We already had it locked down. What you sent him over here for? Because you're supposed to run the east while we run the west. And like I said, if you look at that's how the world, you watch Game of Thrones, it's Westeros versus Easteros. It's always a division, basketball, east versus west. So it's the same game because in reality, like I showed y'all the pyramid, they the ones fighting over everything. They're not the ones that controlling nothing. The ones that control nothing, people with the money to bank. Right, they run everything. Because when you got the bank, like we were talking about war, where you get the money from, right? I'm telling my brother, I'm like, he argued about Hitler, and I'm like, look, when we was having a discussion about Hitler, I'm like, yo, Hitler's getting money from Henry Ford, which is an American, right? And all that matters about who get the money, but like I said, to us, it's all part of the plan to push it on. So Kennedy may not be as high, right? So he could be in the group, like his family, they in the group, but you're not as high. So you're not a super 33rd or super this and that. So we gonna use you. But if it hit the fan, then it's just like it is what it is. Because like I said, there's always level. Like I said, it's like a game. It's always levels. Because people always tell you can't get on the cartel. I mean, you probably could. He's a little guy, but if you got all these drugs, they like, hey, bro, like I mean, you've been supplying them with so much, it's gonna be hard for you to get out. And like I said, they all transform themselves into this angel of light.
Here's a clear example. I mean, what did Diddy do that Jeffrey Epstein didn't do?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein got so much information on the power of people that Diddy don't have. Diddy's had
Diddy just got
everyday
musicians,
people.
artists,
Right.
But everybody know about it though.
Do not pay attention to the man behind the thing. Look over here. Look at him.
No, I'm just saying the separation.
I'm just saying
you
that's
got
what-
Epstein who got the power people.
They don't want you to look at
And
it.
they don't want, because you show everything that Diddy did, but you don't want to show that one thing that Epstein did.
It was worse.
No.
It was worse.
All right, so let me go ahead and let me finish. Just let me finish. Let me finish. So this is 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 13 to 15. I mean, they all do bad stuff, right? But like I said, you said I gotta talk about it. That's what they want. Go ahead and talk about it, cause I already knew Diddy was a bad guy. Like it wasn't like this never do it. And everybody like knows this. But like I said, it's not about that. It's about if you like somebody, right? Like people who like Beyonce or somebody, she can't do nothing wrong. You gonna have to literally have me there at the scene when she cut somebody's throat for me to believe it. And you know what? That wasn't Beyonce. That must be the clone. I'm gonna have no choice because like like you said, it wasn't like that. But did he do have people that's like politicians up there? It ain't just him, right? Because if y'all watch the trial, he got expunged from all that stuff. He going to jail for something really like the racketeering and the trafficking. Yeah, all that stuff not happening. Okay, but Epstein, right? They claim he went to jail and hung himself. Nobody knows. But if you don't know, like I said, it's all part of the crew. His wife got in trouble. You ever seen Ellen DeGeneres show? Right? Yeah. You ever seen like her background?
Island in the background.
That's Epstein Island. They all part of it. Like I said, they know. You don't know. So what I'm saying is, yeah, there are lower ranks, but the lower ranks are the people that they make us fall in love with, the superstars. I'm about to show y'all some pictures of, like I said, how they confuse us so bad. So this is 2 Corinthians 11, 13, verse 15.
For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Christ. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works.
So that's what I'm saying. So they'll make somebody look like they light. That's what I said about this gray area, right? Because I'm gonna start showing you these pictures. These is all Masons, right? But you can see those are the same signs we use. You see that was the old Apple store sign right there in the corner, the Google sign, all this. That's it. That's the same that they wearing, right? This is like I said, this is what they do, but we don't know that, right? The Olympics, I found out the 5 rings is not the 5 continents because I was like, ain't 2 missing? But okay, I'll just say 1 because I know ain't nobody in Antarctica, right? Nobody's there. So somebody missing, but the 5 rings is the 5 rings of 5 different groups of Masons. They call themselves the Olympiads and they put their sails together, right? Because this the thing, all these signals, you see that one in the corner? That's from Harry Potter. The girl said she had inspiration from something that she saw, but that's a Masonic symbol. As you can see, all these symbols, right? All these symbols of what Masons use. This little star, the eye, the flame, the torch, the Liberty torch. That's the torch of what is this god name? Some god that stole the fire from God, which is crazy, right?
Emojis are crazy.
Yeah, it is, right? So look, the NFL, the same logo as the police and the Jim Mason badge. And they changed it over the years, but this is their league, right?
That's crazy.
But hold on, listen. I'm trying to tell you, you got to be a part of them. Like I said, the people that we believe in, this is the false light thing because you'll believe in somebody that's one of them and not knowing. Now, mind you, this person may not even know they're being used to that degree because when you become a Mason, doors open. You ever heard it ain't what you know, it's who you know? That's what it is. Like, hey, you know somebody. Yeah, I got him a job. That's how I got him a job. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew me, right? So for instance, baseball, the baseball thing is made up. That's them. That's their game, and it has like rules to the game. As you read, it says baseball is an occult Masonic ritual where even most of the players aren't aware of their actual role in the ritual itself. Nor does the unaware audience of the masses watching the game ritual from home at the stadium. The field is all about Masonic geometry that is based on the principle of 6 that represents the ego, and the game is entirely based upon the number 3 that represents the satanic trinity of Nimrod, Semiramis, and Tammuz. So they doing a ritual, and we go to watch it. You see what I'm saying? You don't realize how much you're a part of it. So Jackie Robinson, right? The first guy in baseball. Guess what he is? A Mason, right? Now, mind you, I love Jackie Robinson. I thought he was bad. I don't know no bro. I'm questioning, but it doesn't take away his talent. He is a talented person, right? I'm not here to talk bad about nobody, but I just know now that the people I've been seeing my whole life, the heroes, everybody's on TV, you don't get here unless you one of them. It just because like I said, why would I put Isaiah there? He really forgot. Oh, dude, you're not part of the team. They want everything to be part of the team, right? I thought I had something with basketball. I think I don't got it up there yet. All right, so yeah, okay. So this is Revelation chapter 2, verse 8 and 11. I feel like I'm missing a slide. I don't like that. Oh, no, I ain't missing. There you go. It's coming up. Huh? So, yeah, Revelation 2, chapter 2, verse 8 to 11. Yeah.
And unto the angel of the church in Smyrna, write these things, saith the first and the last, which was dead and is alive. I know thy works and tribulations and poverty, but thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death.
All right, so they say, which they say they are Jews and are not. So somebody, blasphemy is a lie on God. So that means somebody is telling somebody they're Jews and they're not Jews. That's literally what that means. It doesn't mean you're a Gentile trying to act like, no, it's silly somebody posing as a Jew and they're not Jews. Instead, they got the synagogue of Satan. And we all know that they were from the synagogue and they changed it to the church of Peter. Well, you know who's in the synagogue today. It ain't me. This ain't the synagogue, this is church. All right. So this is Matthew chapter 10, verse 16 through 23.
Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. And ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the child shall raise up against their parents, and cause them to be put to death. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved. But when they persecute you in the city, flee ye into another. For verily I say unto you, ye shall not have gone over the cities of Israel till the Son of Man be come.
So he said, when you get persecuted, go to another city, right? Ain't no point in standing there if you ain't loved. But it said that you'll be given over to the governors and the kings for his sake, right? And the testimony against the Gentiles with the people that's running the earth right now. Even though you're seeing some black people in some of those pictures, right? So you're going to be tried because you're right. And like I said, you mess up the system. It's not about you actually did a crime or something like that. You just mess up the system. Why would I want somebody here? Like, for instance, the Kennedy thing, right? He's not even one of us. He's not even like a real church going person trying to follow God. He just messed up somebody. They're not going for that. You mess up the system, it's a problem because they got something in order. And the moment, like you said, the dude Kuba was talking about, he said if he become a martyr, that's even worse, right? Because now they're gonna look up to him. Y'all know Bill Cooper got shot by police, right? He got killed. They was making attempts at his life, so he just got worse because he made this book called Behold the Pale Horse, and he started dropping like secrets. I don't real secrets, right? He said he would. Y'all would say movies when somebody goes to my car, hit the button, and it blow up. They did that to him a couple times. So it wasn't like they were looking for him. They knew where he was. Yeah, they do. They know where he at. It's just like, hey, what you gonna do, right? Because like I said, because once you get to a point where you can be a problem, like so we gotta figure it out. And then once we figure it out, we'll make you look crazy or whatever. Like for instance, right? When I showed y'all earlier, y'all saw the Masons, right? Abraham Lincoln was one of them. John Wilkes Booth, that's supposed to kill Abraham. He was one of them. Right? This is crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like, how y'all got the killer? How y'all got the killer in a person that's been killed? Right? You got the problem and the solve. Yeah, you got the problem and the solution. You know what I'm saying? And how fast do you find somebody? How fast are you able to obtain up information? Right? Because my thing is, when somebody is somebody that's outside, like when I say when they make an attack or whatever the case may be, it's really gonna happen. It's gonna be a certain issue. Like when Trump got shot, I didn't believe he got shot, right? I believe it was staged, and the reason why, not because of how he got shot, the angle. I just play with guns, and I know what rifles do, right? A rifle hits your ear coming off. I don't care what rifle you got. Like I just shot some rifles, I'll be behind you, and you shooting at that. I'm scared. So I can only imagine from somebody this, right? But it causes it's a stir up because they just had a situation in Pennsylvania around that time about the guns. Right, Texas. I guess Texas been still ain't rebellion stuff. Oh, I guess it's going to flood today, and now they flood. They don't know what's going on, right? Because they still don't realize the politicians, all the people they put in charge, is like a real problem, right? So this is basically how we get out of it. Then I'm gonna show y'all like a couple of videos and then we done. So this is the only way we get out of it. This is the God's honest truth. This is Ezekiel. Y'all ever heard this? Is called the Valley of Dry Bones. All right, so this is God showing Ezekiel a vision of Israel in the future. And dry bones don't mean you're dead; it just means you're dead in spirit, right? And I'm gonna explain as he reads. So this is Ezekiel chapter 37, verses 1 through 14.
The hand of the Lord was upon me, and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord, and set me down in the midst of the valley which was full of bones, and caused me to pass by them round about. And behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Lord, thou knowest. Again he said unto me, Prophesy upon these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord God unto these bones, Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. And I will lay sinews upon you, and will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you. And ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. So I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. And when I beheld, lo, the sinews of the flesh came up upon them, and the skin covered them above, and there was no breath in them. Then said he unto me, Prophecy unto the wind, prophecy, Son of man, and say to the wind, Thus saith the Lord God, Come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, and that they may live. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived, and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army. Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say, Our bones are dried, and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. And ye shall know that I am the Lord, when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up out of your graves, and shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live, and I shall place you in your own land. Then shall ye know that I, the Lord, have spoken it and performed it, saith the Lord.
Mind you, he just said, I'll put you in the land. Ain't nobody God ain't put them Jews in the land. I know who did. What it was America. It was the Rothschilds and this thing, I forgot what it's called, but it's some type of little document that they had that they sent to the Rothschilds to get this war situated for that land. So this is what they do. Like I said, they play both sides. In World War One, I don't know what they say World War One is about. World War One, Arabs, y'all got the land. That's why they over there. The Palestinians, why they over there. Y'all got the land. World War Two, come back. Hey, we kind of need that back. Oh, we ain't giving it to y'all. Yeah, that's not how this works. We need it back, right? But now you need somebody to give it back to. Hitler is actually winning the war, right? They say, Hitler, we want the land. He like, no. Oh, okay. I make a phone call. Yo, America. And they start calling everybody. So they kill him. But in order for you to come help us, you need to get us the land. They said, okay, cool. And now this is why America is tied to the Jews or whatever, far as this state, right? Because it's kind of like a blackmail, right? Because the Jews that you see, a lot of them don't even know though, right? They just regular people, right? Like I said, it's the high rep people. The Iranian president, right? Not the one now, but the one before. I think his name was like Muhammad or something. Yeah, more. He a Mason too. He was on Larry King, giving him the handshake and everything. Like I said, they all know each other. Putin, all they in these little stupid secret societies. We don't know that, right? So everybody like, oh, they dying. You think they're not going to be in a safe place, right? Have y'all seen anything on TV about them underground cities they building? They building cities underground. That's for all them high people to go under, because Christ talks about in Isaiah when Christ is going to find them in their hiding places. They're going to try to hide. So the reason I don't know if I told y'all that's the reason why I stopped believing in the Bible, because they do. The people who run the world, destroying the world, they know Christ is real. So I'm like, if you think he real and you doing all this, what happens if somebody's doing good what he want me to do compared to somebody doing bad? So you must be scared too. You know what I'm saying? There must be a reason why you do it. And as he reading, right, on verse 10, it says, So I prophesied, he commanded to me, and the breath came into them, which is the breath is the Holy Spirit, right? It says it came into them, they lived and stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army. It's talking about us, right? The only way you get better, the only way you find God, the only way you stop this or be able to be safe is hear the word. When you hear the word, you get up on your feet. And now you got a great army because it's a bunch of us. We don't realize that. Like they be saying this, like they said it's like maybe 19% of us in America. I actually think it's opposite. I think it's like 80% of us and 20% of them, right? Because they always say this and that, but only time I seen the Census Bureau was in black areas, right? And they always say it's predominant that. But when I go to these towns, like I used to live in Culpeper, it is white people, but I live in PG County. PG County got like 1.5 million people here. Almost everybody black. When I first brought him in here, he had never seen that many black people in his life. He was at a grocery store like, why these black people here? I'm like, yo, this is all I know. I don't even know nobody else. Like coming to where you at, it's totally different. I mean, now you got your little gentrification going on in all these situations, but that's how it always was for me, right? And I look at it. So then he's a Latino, right? So they part of it too. It's super big. So just imagine when you come up and you start becoming this big army, they're gonna be scared, because that was the whole thing about it back in the day. They're like, look, if the children of Israel know who they are, it's a problem. So, for instance, you black, right? You could be anything you want to. You could be from Africa, Wakanda, space. Europe, Jamaican, you can be Asian. They don't care what you be. The moment you say you Israel, oh no, no, no. It is not because you find out who you are. They know if you know who you are, you know your God, they know that's the God that used to torture them. When you read the Bible, Old Testament, the Philistines, everybody, God tormenting them, right? Yeah, when he was talking to the Babylonians and the Persians, I don't know if y'all read that. He writing blood on the wall, talking about I'm gonna murder everybody. They like, oh, they terrified of it. He's not playing with them. So they like, look, the only way that won't happen is if we keep them down, right? Because Christ is supposed to come back to save Israel. That doesn't mean he can't save everybody else. So you have other people that's white. It's not about that because they can get saved too. But if God don't come back or Christ don't come back for his people because there's none of us left, what's the point of coming back? So they're trying to exterminate everything. Like I didn't know HIV was playing for blacks and Latinos. All these African things except for black and Latinos. Why? Why are we slaves? You know what I'm saying? It's more Asians than us anyway. It's 3 billion of them. Don't make them be slaves. No, you're making us be slaves. You wonder why? Because these are the people that got all the power, right? Israel is only one of the few people I've ever seen who power isn't in their own hands. It's actually God's. They walk around with the covenant. God just do whatever. Everybody else got weapons, military. Israel just like, yeah, we just gonna walk around our neighborhood till the fall. Boom, they fall. Oh, no, nobody got that, but everybody fully aware of that, right? So they in fear. So I'm gonna show y'all these couple little last videos. So this is a Mason thing. This happened when the pandemic. So this is every news station, or not every news station, but a lot of news stations in the country. This I thought this was funny.
We have 33 confirmed positive tests. We have 33 Pennsylvanians who have tested positive for COVID-19.
Today we have 33 cases.
There were 33 new cases.
The state of Minnesota today reported 33 new COVID-19 related deaths.
There are 33 confirmed cases in Arkansas.
That's the largest single day increase so far, raising the total to 33.
33.
There were 33 confirmed cases in North Carolina.
33. I think that was red team go. I think 34 is red team go. Everybody goes, okay, let's do it this time. Yeah, it's like literally 1,033 and 33 new cases. 33 people died in fucking Hong Kong.
The number 33, we all know what that represents. Everywhere, every single day it was like, well, 12 more cases, which now brings the state to 33.
33.
30, but it's just like 33 everywhere though. China, every place is just 33. Not 37, not 34, maybe 2. Everybody is 33. Now, mind you, like I said, people think this is America. It had China up there. It had other countries on the side. Like I said, it's just a small group of elite people. Now, this one right here, this is gonna ruffle some feathers, but I'm reading comments, talking to people, and everything like this. This is all stage 2. This is the civil rights stuff. Listen to this.
So Martin Luther King Jr. and his group would go down and they would stalk out these small towns and they would find the cruelest and meanest police officer or sheriff that they could find. And they would go in and they would intentionally agitate, intentionally go in and break trespassing charges, march without a petition or a court order. And then when these police would come out and they would try to enforce the law, they would passively resist and they would have the cameras there. When they went to Birmingham, he came there with the cameras and whatnot, and the black people said, we don't want no parts of this. You're not even from here. Why are you coming out here with all of these problems, starting all of this chaos? They got in such a tizzy because they had to put on the show. And James Bevel went to the schools and got children out of the schools and told the children to come do this march. They were going to give them a picnic. They was going to feed them, And the children came out of the school and marched into a cauldron of dogs and water hoses from Bull Connor. And they called it the Children's March, like these children voluntarily did this. No, King them tricked these children into this. And then they had the cameras and the newspapers and everything take it right back to Washington and in New York. It's sent it all over the world as propaganda that this is how the South is, and this is how virtuous Martin Luther King Jr. and brave King and all the rest of them are. And this is how racist America is. And it went all over the world, and it was all staged.
And that's what I was telling her. Yeah, because I said, how often do you have, especially back then, how often is somebody gonna have a camera in all these situations? But then, like I said, I look at the people who are in certain situations. Like I'll give you an example, Marcus Garvey, right? It's supposed to be one of those woke people. You don't hear about Marcus Garvey. You wanna know why? He's not a Freemason. He's none of these people. But I know who I do hear about: W.E.B. Du Bois and all these people. But yeah, but they part of the Boule, right? Which is another little fraction of the Masons. And they the ones took him out. Like, okay, cool, we gotta take him out because he's not a part of us. Right? So it doesn't matter if you black, you're white, you're blue, you're green. If you ain't part of the inner circle, it does not matter. So this right here is I think this is the last video I got. Cause this right here is actually this is like the big trick. And this is why they're the Jews.
Most of these Christians are not familiar with the Talmud, Zohar, and Kabbalah, and where this 613 mitzvot comes from and what they're all about. So I started to study what they're about and what the Talmud teaches, and I noticed that there is actually a plan, there is a plot, and that's a plot against Christianity. Let me bring you one of the books here, The Secret Doctrine in Israel by Waiti. And what it explains is the basically secret doctrine of the Zohar. What is behind Zohar? And you have to understand that the soul of the Talmud is Zohar, and the soul of Zohar is Kabbalah. But in this particular book, I just want to read you a little bit what got me understanding what the plot is against Christianity. It says here, according to the Midrash Talpigoth, the Messiah will bring eternal peace, which of course was understood by the Israelites as peace for Israel, plus that which may follow extermination for all who did not enter by conversion into the house of Jacob. So basically what they teach is that if Gentiles or Christians do not attach themselves to the Jews, they will be exterminated. And of course, we are well known for our Noahide laws, that we brought this to a light. So then you go to Talmud and you start reading what is the plan for Gentiles. You see, Judaism is a two-tier system. Judaism puts the wall of partition back. It's the Jews and non-Jews. And according to Judaism, non-Jews are different species.
All right, so you see what she said. This is, I said, is really slick. She said if the Gentiles not attached to the Jews, they can't get saved, right? That is true, right? That's how it's supposed to be. As I said, if you're not you don't think you're a Jew, that's cool. Let's say we're not Jews. Cool, no problem. We have to follow Christ. Christ is a Jew, right? You got to go by conversion. This is the okie doke. They're not the real Jews. So everybody follow them. They're following the wrong king. They want you to follow the wrong king. You just don't know.
That's why they call them Jewish.
Yeah, Jewish. Because like I said, what's ish? Like, is it blue or is it bluish? Is it, you know what I'm saying? Is it red or is it reddish? Yeah, it's kind of, right? So they kind of this and that or whatever. But that's the whole deceit. Because like I said, when you follow them, because let's say them, they know what their time is. They know. But they're trying to bring as many people as they can or whatever. Them, they actually believe that they can be successful. I don't know what lie Satan told them, or he must got a hell of a game. They really believe that if they can wipe us out, that Christ doesn't come back and that earth belongs to them and whatever. That's like what Lucifer talks about Isaiah 14. He said, I'm gonna put my stars above the heaven. So he's supposed to give them high positions. So they actually believe that they can win the war or whatever. But they need as many people to win the war, right? So for instance, you see how it's a war in Israel or whatever, it's a war, but they got all the countries, and it's all the big countries there. Russia near there, Iran, North Korea, everybody that live in one area, right? It's a reason for that because they know when Christ comes back, that's what he come back at. So they want everybody to fight Christ. And what they've been telling us our whole lives, we're gonna have an alien invasion soon. And if you see something on the sky, because you ever said, I know y'all heard the little the black church song, Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. That's a spaceship, right? That's what they fly in. So when a spaceship come down, the first thing I'll show you in that Bill Cooper video. He said they was looking at a spaceship going like in and out the water. The first thing you're gonna see is an alien. And you know what we're gonna do? We all gonna unite because you see an alien.
Or the worlds, they just gonna attack the aliens.
It's not the aliens though, it's Christ in them. But they're gonna make the world believe that because you gotta think about it, right? You ain't seen an alien the whole time. They keep all that stuff from you, right? Because you saw them, you were like, oh, well, that's them. But when you see something come out, because remember, everybody's gonna see this moment. It's not like if you hear, you're gonna see it. So when you see something out of the sky and it looks like a UFO, it ain't no plane, it ain't a rocket ship. What is that? Everybody was like, you know what? Let's stop fighting. Let's fight this, right? So this is all playing. It's a reason why they want the area. It's a reason why they want us in these, like I said, type of strongholds and all these things. Because, like I said, It's literally planned for us to fail, but it's planned for us to be joined with them to go against God because they figure, well, look, God ain't gonna kill everybody, is he? Because if everybody's with God, I mean, everybody gets God, God ain't wipe all of us out, right? But the ones that's here, if y'all with God, you with God, you don't go through that. But the ones who aren't for God, all these people that don't know, these masses, the Europeans, all these people, they about to be in a real bad wake and not realize who they go to. Because it's the thing. I remember I said, bless Israel. You get blessed by Israel. Curse Israel, you curse Israel. What you think will happen to people when they find out they've been blessed in the wrong Israel? They actually been cursing us. Yeah, so it's like I said, it's a whole switch, and the switch is like I said into them. They go into these churches, they go into these peoples, like the Pope. Like this one, the Catholic Church. They said they finally in this book right here. They said like about 1940, they finally got a Pope that was one of them in it, and his name was they call him Paul VI. Well, guess what? Paul VI is the school of Virginia. Like I said, you don't get to be name of schools, name of highways without what I'm saying being one of them, right? So once we understand and come to realize, like I said, the government, the way we fighting, is not about this that we got to get ourselves together, right? Get our own government, get our own faction, get our own things because my neighborhood should be safe as a community. If I want to send my son to Mr. Thomas' house, Mr. Thomas better not be eating pork, but you know what? He not. He part of the community, so I don't got to worry about it. But when I send it to somebody who's not a Christian or somebody who's doing something wrong, now I got to worry because I don't know what y'all do. I've been to people's houses. I'm like, this I got to live it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Can't be here. I don't want that. That's how it's supposed to be. Like in the Bible, you go to your next door neighbor's house. My mom said when she was a kid, she showed me when she lived in Southeast. It's not like that no more. But she said they didn't lock their doors. That's crazy. Cause she lived by the big chair. Let me tell you something. That thing is crazy right there. That whole MLK, Malcolm X Boulevard, man, that thing looked like Baghdad. And she said when she was a kid, they didn't lock their doors. Now they do. I'm talking about their house doors. Now they lock the doors every 5 seconds. Click, 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 click. I think they got like buttons to lock the door. So stuff has changed, but it's changed, and like I said, in a bad way. So we just gotta switch it up and change it. Like I said, yeah, your community not gonna be as big as you want it to be, but Ezekiel said it will be big, right? It will be an army, but the army comes through. Hey, you telling somebody when y'all, hey, I know this is small, but hey, pray on it. Pray that we get a church. You fucking with people every time you bring somebody, you bring somebody. You brought her. Bring somebody, bro. That's what you're supposed to do. That's all you gotta do. And you do that, we good. We been here. God been blessing us, giving us food. I pray it ain't rain. Man, it's hot. I would have prayed about the music to calm down, but I didn't know about the music, I woke up and found out they having a wedding, like, oh, they having a wedding, But it's all good because they cool too. And what's crazy is when we do church, they do church. Right? I just need my translator to start talking to people and preach like he's supposed to be preaching. Then we get them to it, right? And it's a community because we all love each other. They invite my mom for stuff, no problem. My cars. If y'all got a problem parking a car, I just go ask them. It's a fence right there. They let us park right there. Like I said, that's how it's supposed to be. It ain't supposed to be this going against each other. Nah, it's not. Yeah, but it's not like that, right? Because they're learning the wrong way. They're learning the Christian way through the infiltration, the Masonic orders, right? And that become a problem. So I'm gonna read this Psalms and then I'm gonna let y'all eat because I know y'all probably hungry. I know I am. Right, so this is Psalms 21. It is on the board, right? Okay. Psalms 21, because it wasn't on the board last time. I was having a lot of technical difficulties. I ain't like it. Psalms 21, verse 1. So this is the whole book of Psalms. It says, to the chief musician, a psalm of David, the king shall joy in thy strength, O Lord, and in thy salvation, how greatly shall he rejoice. Thou hast given him his heart's desire, and hast not withholden request of his lips. Salah. For thou preventest him with the blessings of goodness. Thou settest a crown of pure gold on his head. He asked life of thee, and thou gavest him, even length of days forever and ever. His glory is great in thy salvation, honor, and majesty hast thou laid upon him. For thou hast made him most blessed forever. Thou hast made him exceedingly glad with thy countenance. For the king trusteth in the Lord, and through the mercy of the Most High he shall not be moved. Thy hand shall find out all thy enemies. Thy right hand shall find out those that hate thee. Thou shalt make them as a fiery oven in the time of thy anger. The Lord shall swallow them up in his wrath, and the fire shall devour them. Their fruit shall thou destroy from the earth, and their seed from among the children of men. For they intended evil against thee. They imagined a mischievous device, which they are not able to form. Therefore shalt thou make them turn their back, when thou shalt make ready thy arrows upon thy strings against the face of them. Be thou exalted, Lord, in thy own strength, so we will sing and praise thy power. Right? So this is talking about our enemies and stuff. Don't gotta worry about it. We praise God. God gonna take care of everything. Always remember that. Every day you wake up, Man, compliment somebody at work. Compliment somebody you go to the store. You know what I'm saying? Somebody say something bad to you. They say, God bless you. Ain't no point in getting no argument with nobody. Right? Because that person ready to shoot somebody. Oh, you shoot over banana. Something like that. Something. I mean, you laughing, but listen. I be at work. There was somebody, they said, man, good luck. He's crazy. I get it to him. I don't see that. I like, yeah, because the energy matches. When you do all that, a demon come in. What's up? Time to fight, right? Because that's all they want to see is destruction anyway. But just think about how they teach you. Everything you learn, you program. You program to say hello. You know what your mom. What's your hello for? Hey, what's up, mom? Hello. Oh, what's up, mom? You already know it's her. You got call ID. You got FaceTime now. But you've been so programmed. You know what I'm saying? You programmed for everything. No matter, no matter what it is. I be at work and I be like, they late. Well, they not. They late 2 minutes late. Nah, man, 15 minutes early. Right? That's on time. Right? When you on time, you kind of late. Because like I said, you never know if you got a factory. You know what happened? They come late and they got to use the bathroom. Oh, they use the bathroom. Hold on. You late, man. Come on, what you doing, man? You got nothing to do. Get here early, right? But it's like I said, it's a way of discipline. It's a way of life. And then we start changing that way. You know the way now, right? You know the way to keep yourself clean. You know how to, do marriages and things like that. Like I said, they having a wedding. I can't be mad at that, right? Somebody, believing they belong with somebody. Hopefully God is a part of that marriage, right? Because he's not a part of all marriages, but hopefully God's a part of that marriage. But like I said, the union is the people. It's the community. That's what church means. The church means congregation. It means community. It's not a physical building. Sure, do we want a building? Yeah, because the building keeps you from the rain, snow, stuff like that. But this is the church. I should be able to go to him and let me get $5. Let me go to her. You got some soap. You got this. You got that. That's church. That's family, right? It's not, oh, I go to church and listen to this pastor talk and I go home and I don't know nobody in my congregation. All y'all, any of y'all be texting me, calling me. My little brother, he talks to me. I talk to all y'all. That's how the pastor's supposed to do. You the flock, you the shepherd. I ain't say I'm a pastor yet, but I'm working on it. I'm a teacher, but that's what you're supposed to do, right? Ask me whatever you want about God. I don't care about those other stuff, basketball. I don't really care about. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's just really irritating. But when it comes to God, I really mad at baseball. I should Jack Robinson, man. I bought my daddy Jack Robinson shirt. They go like $800, man. Like, oh my God. It was like, I was like, man, but it is what it is. It was all in a good spirit or whatever. But I thank y'all for coming. I hope y'all enjoy. I hope y'all learned something today. Like I said, there's food here. If y'all eat here, that's cool. If y'all want to leave, y'all go out of the way. Please take some food, please, because it's like 50 pieces of chicken. I can't eat all that. Man. I would have died, man. I would have died. All right. So thank y'all, and we about to say a prayer. Then we can all eat.
Did you? Video?
Huh?
Video?
It's on YouTube. You ain't gotta worry about it no more. You go to YouTube, bro. You all right?
Yeah. That's when you sit for a long time.
Oh yeah, shake it all. Y'all stir it up. Everybody good? That's it. That's it. Prayers out.
Dear Lord God, thank you for the lesson today. Thank you for, Drew being able to do his thing. Thank you for Eli being here to read for us. And I pray that we all use discernment today and throughout our time, that, we just take everything we learned today and apply it to ourselves, apply it within our families, within our friends. Oh, Lord God, I pray that you bless the food that we're about to eat. I pray that you fill us with nourishment. And I just pray that you watch over us, guide us, keep us safe and healthy. Thank you for everything you've done for us and continue to do for us, Lord God. In your name, I'll forever pray. Amen.
Amen. All right. Shalom, family.